The great Freudian insight is that the subconscious, not even close to a Freudian invention, is incompletely repressed and bleeds out into waking life in cryptic forms. Neurosis, according to the classical psychoanalysts like Freud and Jung, are decoy problems that the mind conjures up as a way to avoid facing up to the problems at the heart of the repressed drives. Someone might develop a workplace crush that becomes unbearably disruptive when their real issue is that they are in an unhappy marriage. Someone might get obsessed with finding the perfect laptop when the real issue is that they just don't like their job. To Freud, the work is to uncover the past and its hidden influence on the patient so as to help them move on from its constructions. To Jung, the work is to understand the aspect of the patient's self presently hidden from themselves so as to renegotiate the terms and patterns of collaboration between the conscious and the subconscious. To Adler, another of Freud's inner circle, the work is to uncover the hidden intentions of the patient's very thoughts, behaviors, and symptoms, to bring to the fore which decisions about the future that the patient is making subconsciously. I like this trichotomy, but it's only my invention, so it's not really a formally recognized one. Adler may seem the strangest of the triad above. How is it possible to think of neuroses as future-oriented? Is Freud's entire thesis not that the development shapes the mind in every psychodynamic manner? The mind to all three of the thinkers is an adaptive structure. It develops strategies for getting its needs met in all manner of complex ways. The chief question for Adler is what purpose a given neurosis or even beliefs and emotions serve the individual. For instance, one might explode in anger at a friend for being late for an important event. One is likely to say, I had no choice, my friend made me angry, and so I ended up blowing up. But Adler might interpret the situation as follows. They chose to become angry so as to blow up at their friend in order to influence the situation in a way that gives them control over their friend and the relationship. You can imagine the same logic being applied to more complex cases. One might develop an obsession with laptops in order to avoid the challenge of finding new work that would arise were they to face up with the fact that they hate their job and no laptop could change that. So the analysis remains quite similar in their structure in as much as they pertain to the search for hidden motivations. The differences are in the modality of the psychodynamic logics, that is, perspectives and directions. I feel that all three modalities are useful for different contexts and purposes. The Freudian mode is useful like a medical diagnosis. It's a hypothesis generator for what other problems one might have but have not recognized, as well as for what treatments might be effective. The Jungian mode is useful for surveying the self with an eye not to curative treatment, but for the purpose of further self-understanding and enrichment. Adler is useful for working backwards from the consequences and conclusions of actions and states of being towards their strategic significance for the mind. To introduce yet another trichotomy, we might analogize each with deductive, inductive, and abductive logics. I might have confused the matter somewhat by using terms that don't normally belong earlier, namely hypothesis, but the analogy seems to stand for illustrative purposes. The point is that different perspectives on the same mind, the same life, all unlock different solutions which will work differently. The mind is complicated and the best approach to handling it is pluralistic.